What's one red flag to look out for in divorce settlements?
The too good to be true. And it kind of goes back to the example I gave about ending up with assets that are either illiquid or not in a good tax situation. Just because you may be getting more than 50%, kind of ask yourself, why is that? I think that lawyers are pretty good at sniffing out when the other side is not being forthcoming. Listen to your lawyer. I can't tell you how many times where a client of a lawyer has kind of held back or hasn't quite followed the advice. Lawyers do this every day, and they know. And they also know the other side who's been representing them legally. So, I think there's that. I think the other red flag that you need to kind of watch out for is, I call it the newfound friends, the people that want to give you advice, that don't have any skin in the game. They have no obligations to you. They're not a fiduciary. They're not responsible for your outcome, that kind of weigh in. And sometimes it could be somebody who maybe has motives to get you into, some investments they think are good, or they have other motives that maybe aren't in your best interest. So
what's the best first move with your money after divorce?
Do nothing.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that answer. I like that.
Do nothing. Do nothing. Reflect. I know I don't know how many times this will come up in the podcast, but you really need to figure out these outcomes you need, right? That is the ideal situation.
Take your time, go slow.
Yeah. And if you're able to, maybe take a vacation.
Yeah.
Just do something for yourself. Be selfish, right? You've gone through a real emotional situation, and even a good one is still emotional. An acrimonious one is PTSD stuff you're dealing with. Take a little vacation or have some me time and do nothing, right? If you got the settlement done right, ideally it's cash-like, or it's, very conservative type investment. So it's not going to go anywhere. And so, the best thing, do nothing.
And what's the biggest myth about wealth and divorce?
The biggest myth about wealth and divorce. I think it's a combination. The one that has to give up the bigger amount feels they can never make it back again. And what am I going to do? And, I worked so hard and got to start over. You know what? That's life, right? It's understanding what we can control and what we can't. And what we can't control, we need to accept it and we need to move forward, right? I think the flip end of it is, somebody who thinks somehow this is going to be a really easy process and you're going to end up with a bunch of money and you're going to be living your life that you've wanted to live and, you weren't able to under the marriage, and just realize that these things do, even ones that are collaborative. I mean, it takes a year plus.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's never quick and easy.
Absolutely not. Right. And so I think you just need to, this myth that, oh yeah, we're all going to work together. They said that, their accountant's on board for this. Trust me.
And they're listing the house and going and shopping for new houses before they have anything sorted out.
Yeah. And so to think that it's going to be over quickly, you need to realize if it's collaborative, you're probably a year to 2 years. If it's acrimonious, 2 to 5 years. And if it's more extreme, it could obviously be longer. But I just think you need to, the sooner you get that over that myth that this is going to be quick and easy, the better you're going to be thinking about post-divorce, how you're going to ultimately invest your money and rebuild your wealth or build additional wealth, right?